So the hook grind happens when you don't want to do it, man. Okay, that's a lot better. This is 195 right here on the bar. It has been, I've only done 2 sets. My first set was just like seeing if I could do it. Second set was repping it out. Third set, I'm upping it by 30 pounds, which is this. It's a bench day, so I'm not totally up that much, maybe in between sets. But I want to do a heavy duty bench day, and then finish off with like a lot of drop sets, supersets kind of stuff. So, yeah. Alright, we back. I changed my t-shirt into my favorite lifting brand. Not sponsored at all, but if they want to sponsor me, by all means. Controlled Insanity. They're tough, they're cool. I also put chalk on because my hands are kind of sweaty on here. And I don't know, it's odd, but you know, whatever makes me feel a lot more confident. My excuse to that is that I haven't benched in last bench day was a month. Whoa, what the fuck am I saying? My excuse to that was I haven't benched in last Monday was my last bench day. So technically it's been a week. That's never happening again. Scheduling is awful. That was terrible. Frick. Awful. They'd already followed me, you're too late. Alright, so I failed, I think, 205. Never again in my entire life am I going to not take a week off of benching. This is awful. So this is kind of the aftermath. And there's me, obviously. But now I have chalk in my hand for some, like, I was doing pull-ups, trying to warm up my back, do this, and then, like, other things, too. But this gives us 2 options. You know, 2 options when you're faced with hardship that I had to learn. 2 options that you have to face. Option 1 is you give up, you know, oh, that was a shitty-ass bench day. And then you just kind of, you know, weep and cry in bed and do whatever. Second option, be like, okay, I can't do that weight right now. But, you know, which sucks, obviously, because I usually can rep that out. But, you know, if I can't rep up heavy weight for a few reps, it's time to drop the weight and rep it for a ton of reps. Is this science-based lifter approved? Probably not. You know, I'm pretty stupid when it comes to science-based stuff. So I'm doing my kind of based of my logic, my oddball logic. You know, never once do I promote this. This is my own invention. It's kind of like a rich PR test day, but you know, kind of more discounted because I'm not taking obscene amounts of Tren or whatever he was taking, or synthol, not synthol maxing. Obviously, this is my starting right now. 145. Check this out a little bit. How did I not? Okay, how did I do that? How did I not do that? So, this is what I'm going to do now. This is my technical science-based drop set thing. So right now, I'm starting off with 135. Now that's cool. No, second on, hold on. These dumbbells are going to like perfectly mess me up. I just can't deal with dumbbells. Okay. So I'm starting off with 135. Then, since I have a 35 plate, I'm going to drop it. Then go to one. Hold on, I'm doing math. 115. Then I'm gonna drop it to the 30s and do 105. Then I'm gonna drop from the 30, 25 to 95s, so 95 pounds. And then, you know, as for proof, you know, here's some proof. I have, hold on. I have total of 8 5-pound plates, and then sadly I have one, you know, 2.5 plates. So that means each time I'm gonna it's a lot to process with loads. So when I get there, I'll try to get a lot better. But stay with me through this awfulness. And also, it's 9 o'clock on Monday in chest. Which I'm getting like an actual workout since last Friday because I had grad parties, graduation, a job, you know, scary stuff right there. But that's cool. I don't know what the best angle is to watch the bench. I guess that's watch for a second. We can actually be like, oh, he's not up with his own. I'm going to be so fun anything. I'm just doing this for the game, get big. So potentially, you know, that's cool. It's also mental and physical challenge. That's what the thing is. It's not mental, physical though. Alright, I'm back. But basically, you're going from failure to failure to failure. And for me, I did this like a handful of times, probably like maybe 7 to 10 times, maybe on the 12 kind of range, but I never really did it like avidly. I do this like a once in a while kind of thing. Because I haven't hit chest in over a week, I'm doing this somewhat dumb and smart at the same time. But, you know, This is awful. This is actually awful. Good things don't come easy though. Nothing ever rewarding came easily. Because if it came easy, why would it feel rewarding? This is butt. My chest is already like burning and on fire. This is terrible. This is bad. I don't like it at all. But am I gonna appreciate the chest pump afterwards? Yeah, obviously. You know. Oh my goodness. My chest is about to like fall off. Oh my goodness, everything hurts. Oh my goodness. This is what death feels like. Ow. Then gotta drop it to 25 pounds on each side. Okay. I got 1 5-pound plate, 2 5-pound plate, 3 5-pound plate, 4 5-pound plate. You might be thinking, oh well, that's 20 pounds. You know, he's just still gonna be dropping by 5-pound increments. No, I got a 2.5 now. Okay, I got my water over there. You know, stay hydrated. You gotta stay hydrated. You gotta stay hydrated to get strong and be cool. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. Okay, so I got 1 5-pound plate, 2 5-pound plate, 3 5-pound plate, 4 5-pound plate, and then I got a 2.5. So altogether, just on this side is 22.5. And so once I fail this, you know, altogether, I will take off, okay, a 2.5 on each side, and then just wrap this up. Then once I fail that, I'll officially take off a 5-point plate, add the 2.5 on. So every time I fail, obviously, if you can do the math, I'm gonna be dropping by 2.5 on each side, but 5 pounds in total, you know, adding 2.5 on that side plus 2.5 on this side. So accountability is this right now, what I'm gonna say. I like it has been half a year so far, and it's went like by that. And I had college. I slacked in it towards the end. I really did. I had my diet that I promised I was gonna do. I slacked in that, and that obviously somewhat shows. Yeah, I lost some weight, but if I stuck to the diet and I actually went, you know, to each calorie, to each gram of protein, to each gram of carb, to each gram of fat that I was supposed to have. If I didn't go, I can, go over by, under it, I can sell myself short by 100 calories. I can go over 200 calories, my limit. If I was on the dot, on the line, each and every day, I'd be probably, I'm gonna say 7.5 pounds lighter, obviously, because I would have stuck to it. But I slacked. And looking at myself now, I was just like, what am I doing? Am I a product of what I practiced, semi-practiced, and what I preached, throughout these 6 months? No. So I know that I have myself relying on me, and I know I have friends, who somewhat look up to me in a way, and then I know I got my family who I want to take care of in the future. And if I can't take care of myself right now, what example is that setting for me? What example is that setting for my friends? What example is that going to show for my family? See? One second. So, this accountability. I'm gonna lock in on my diet. I'm gonna lock in on grinding and editing. I'm gonna lock in on building my brand. That's coming out soon, but I want to lock in on it fully. I'm gonna stop wasting money on stupid random stuff that I don't need at all. I could have been using it to invest in my brand, but now it's like, nah, I need this on the store. This random gift card, I want it. What am I doing, bro? I gotta lock in for real. And if you're kind of a similar position, you gotta lock in too. Get hard on yourself, bro. And I know I just said, you can't, be that tough on yourself, but you can't be like, I'm slacking, but at least I'm putting a little bit in. I'm still doing a little bit better. I'm still a foot ahead than the people behind me. Being a foot ahead, bro, there's somebody a mile ahead of you. There's somebody who is grinding each and every day on the weekends, maybe 2 hours on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. That's gonna add up, over a week. That's 4 hours. Over 2 weeks, that's 8. And then over time, that's gonna add up to a whole day. They're a whole day ahead of you. But imagine if they're, instead of doing 2 hours, every Saturday and Sunday, what if they're doing 5 hours? So that means in a total week, they're 10 hours ahead of you. Meanwhile, you're going, I'm putting in the work. I'm doing the bare minimum that I have to do. Kind of like what I was doing, I just, be moseying around and I can casually do it. No, bro. If you want it, if you're that passionate about it, you gotta lock in and you gotta do it. There is no other way to simply put it. Lock in and do it. You gotta genuinely feel it in your head. You gotta feel it in your emotions when you mess up. In your head feeling it is like, what can I do to get better? What is the mental pathway? I sat down today and went through a daily goal of what I want to do each day. And then I sat down, I said, what do I want to do on a weekly goal? What do I want to do on a monthly goal? What do I want to do for the rest of the year for the goal? So the daily ones is, spend 1 hour or maybe even 2 a day, obviously, since it's daily, on a goal, or investing on my brand that I want to grow, or maybe learning how to edit a little bit more, or at least learning something to help me out in the future. So then think about it. If that's 2 hours each day, 7 days, that's gonna be 14 hours in a week. That's you're practically another day ahead. Think about that. And then all those daily goals are gonna stack up in the weekly ones. And then when you stack up the weekly ones into the monthly, then you're gonna stack up the monthly into the yearly, and then there you go. You don't have to make, I'm gonna become a millionaire by the end of this year, and then make this giant goal, and then it's gonna be this giant weight that you're gonna try to hold and balance and try to juggle, so then you can try to situate your feet and how am I gonna do this? It's kind of a heavy weight. Now, cut it up into pieces. You want to be a millionaire, in X amount of time, cut it up. Well, what are you going to do each day to help you reach that goal? How does that each day, how is that going to add up to 1 week? What do you want to do weekly that's going to add up to the month? What do you want to do each month, monthly, to add up to a year? So that in that year, you are a ton of steps ahead. You may be a mile, you might be miles ahead than what you would be in saying, you know, I'm just going to, you know, casually do it. No, bro. That's not how you should do it. Lock in mentally, physically, see your goals each and every day. Physically do them too, obviously. And then emotionally feel them. Use your emotions when you're having bad days. Drive. Do it. Use that to fuel you. When you're having happy days, use that to fuel you. When you're having angry days, be like, oh, I'm so mad. Oh, I'm just gonna work. But guess what? You do that when you're mad, you'll be like, oh, well, what am I mad about? I just achieved a lot more than I would instead of staying mad, you know, throwing a fit. Mentally or physically, being like, oh, dang, man, I had a really bad day. What's that gonna do if you dwell on it? You know? Lock in. I know you got the potential. I have people telling me that they believe in me. So do them a favor and lock in. Show them that they believe in the right